Lest we forget, based on what is the 4th of July to the slave. You see, there are moments in history that demand silence, not because there's nothing to say, but because words struggle to carry the weight of what happened. Then there are moments that demand we speak, because silence has too often been used to erase the truth. Today is one of these and those moments. We remember those names were never written in family Bibles because they were listed instead on bills of sale. We remember those whose labor built wealth they never claimed, whose hands planted fields, forged iron, laid railroads, raised cities, and helped build a nation while being denied the rights promised in its founding ideals. We remember mothers whose children were taken from their arms, fathers endured the lash, being separated by horses hung from a tree, and still we rise. Families separated by auction blocks, men and women who lived under laws that declared them property instead of persons. And when slavery ended, freedom did not immediately bring justice. There were the terror campaigns, homes burned to the ground, churches destroyed, our precious children destroyed with those, communities attacked for succeeding. Thousands of documented lynchings meant not only to kill individuals, but to spread fear across generations and kill their motivation, their dreams and aspirations, and the very thought of who they are and where they come from. Lord have mercy. There were men, women, and children whose lives ended without trials, without justice, and often without graves marked by their names. Those scars did not disappear with time. Trauma does not vanish because history books shorten the story, tell lies. They don't tell the truth. Pain does not end because people grow uncomfortable discussing it. So today, they remember not what somebody else wants us to remember, to celebrate, to act like my ancestors didn't matter. We remember because it is the right thing to do. Those were my people. You don't have to accept them. I'll accept them for you. We remember not to cultivate hatred, but to protect the truth and to protect our families. We remember not to divide Americans, but to understand America more honestly. Because we never talk about the independence of the 13 colonies from a monarchy who basically says that America is Britain's child. That's right. America is Britain's child, and Europeans are the children of those children. And those children are the children of people long forgotten in Africa. Our ancestors were told they were less than human. So we must remember, because forgetting allows injustice to disguise itself as progress. We have to remember with honesty who and what America is. Yet they proved themselves greater than the cruelty imposed upon them. They built families where others tried to destroy them. They built churches where hope could survive. They built schools when education was forbidden. They built businesses when opportunity was denied. They built communities through faith, resilience, sacrifice, determination, and every other adjective that you can describe a people who were beat down, stolen from their country. Their dignity was never granted by law. It existed long before the law recognized it. And we existed long before the law was created. There it is. To the descendants of those who suffered, your history did not begin in chains. Chains were imposed upon people who were already humanity, intelligence, culture, families, language, and dreams. Enslavement was something done to them. It was never who they are, who they were, and will never be. Do not allow anyone to reduce your ancestors to victims alone. They were survivors, builders, innovators, soldiers, teachers, farmers, craftsmen, ministers, mothers, fathers, children of immeasurable worth. Remember their courage, remember their faith, remember their endurance, and remember those whose name history failed to preserve. Though their names may be lost, their lives are not forgotten. Their sweat, blood, tears, prayers, perseverance shape the nation we live in today, and yet we live in lack. Truth asks something of every generation. It asks to acknowledge both America's extraordinary ideals and its extraordinary failures. It asks us to celebrate progress without pretending the wounds ever existed. It asks us to reject hatred without rejecting history. And it asks us to leave those who come after us a fuller, more honest story than the one we inherited. Let us remember the enslaved. Remember those who were terrorized after emancipation. Remember the families who carried grief in silence. Remember every life diminished by injustice, not because we were imprisoned by the past, but because we refused to let the past be imprisoned by forgetfulness. For a nation that forgets its history risks repeating it. A people who remember with honesty preserve not only the memory of the fallen, but the dignity of the living. May we never forget. May we always pursue truth, and may the memory of those who endured injustice inspire every generation to build a nation that more fully lives up to its highest ideals. So, in departing, I ask you, what is democracy? Why are we leaning toward kingship, monarchy, an imitation of all that was and you, the 13 colonies, fought against? And why do you hate a people who helped build this great nation and all the other nations that you could put your John Hancock and stop lying, smiling faces?